Welcome to a windy day 2 at the European Championships of Beach Ultimate in Calafell, Spain. Pool play finished up today. I'm Liam Rosen, covering the women's division.
I'm Adam Lerman, covering the open division.
And I'm Bomi Yohanare, covering the mixed division.
Let's take a look at what happened in today's games.
Starting in the mixed division, France faced Russia in a hotly contested game. France came out fired up and prevented a Russian score with a nice layout D by Olivier Lab. Russia immediately put on a lot of pressure after the turn, forcing a high-style panic throw which resulted in a Callahan by the Russians, giving them a 7-5 lead. France reacted with some quick offense. Anthony Affilé fakes out his defender, centers to Jonathan Vallet, who hits Jenny Gauthier for the score. Russia kept pushing hard to stay undefeated and scored a decisive break with this layout catch by Anastasia Parfenchikova, eventually winning the game 9-6. Pool A, Sweden vs Germany. The top 2 seeds met in the final game of pool play on Friday. Germany took an early lead, but the Swedes stayed close with this red zone score. A floaty huck by Robert Schumacher was brought down after a good read by Nicolas Fink. Floaty hucks seem to be one of the themes of the German offense, as Niki Prin saves this one by Rudiger Weitel. With this victory, Germany goes into quarterfinals 5-0. Checking back with Russia, they faced Portugal in their last game of the day. Pedro Vargas gets the team all fired up with this important score for Portugal. Russia continues to look good with hucks like this by Anton Butikov. Even Russia's defense was impressive with this D by Yegor Naumov. However, Portugal couldn't be stopped and took Russia down with the final score 9-7. Ireland unlocked their A game in a tight matchup against one of their biggest rivals, Great Britain. The Irish overclassed an underperforming GB with some nice impressive plays in the arena, ending at 11-6. Belgium had a disappointing first day but won on a winning streak on day 2, including this win over Austria with 10-7. Italy struggled to find their offensive flow all weekend but finally pulled out the first victory over the 6th-seeded Hungary 9-5. Now with the women's division, here's Liam.
Great Britain and France, the 1 and 2 seeds in their pool, would face off in a morning pool play game. France looked strong early, with this pass from Rasta to Marie-Sophie to go up 7-5. But from there on out, it was vintage GB. We are treated to this classic Bexforth layout off the full field huck. And later, Bob saves this disc and turns it into one of the best hammers we've seen all tournament to find Rachel Kelly in the back of the end zone. This 5-point GB run was punctuated by a Lily Huang bullet forehand to a celebrating Kate Markey. With GB up 10-7 in a game to 11, France put in an 8th point to keep them in the match, but Ellie Hand was having none of it, pulling down the game winner for the GB victory, 11-8. Germany and Switzerland were matched up in a classic grudge match in a crossover game after pool play. Switzerland went up early with Olivia Hauser's perfect backhand form, finding Claudia Strehler for the toe-in. Germany was able to go on a small run and take the lead, but Strehler showed up big again with this nice put over 2 German defenders' heads to find Christine Hürlimann in the zone to tie the game up. Switzerland used that momentum to win the game 9-7. With a roster of only 10 women, Latvia has been the Cinderella story of the tournament in the women's division. Here, they face off against Poland in a windy pre-quarter, their zone wreaking havoc on the Poland offense. Latvia used a cup to force risky throws, then took advantage, using their excellent team chemistry to move the disc little by little into the end zone. Latvia dominated 12-3 and will face Russia tomorrow in a rematch, hoping to take revenge after their 10-9 defeat and advance to semifinals. In other pre-quarters games, Finland took care of business against Denmark, winning 12-5. They'll face Germany tomorrow in the quarters. Great Britain also prevailed over Spain, but the 11-5 score doesn't tell the whole story. This young Spanish team refused to give up and fought hard until the end of the match. The only surprise in pre-quarters was Austria's 10-9 universe point victory over a tired Italy team, who couldn't hang on to the disc in the strong winds. Here's Adam with the Open Division coverage.
Thanks so much, Liam. In the Open Division, we find Great Britain matched up against Spain. After a loss yesterday, Great Britain needed to win by at least 5 to win the pool. Spain was not going to make it easy, as Amador Alvarez gets open deep for the +1. GB stepped up their intensity, and Harry Geller gets his mark off balance and breaks to Richard Roberts for the score in the 6-3 lead. The Great Britain defense proved too much for Spain. David Ford gets huge for the catch D, and Elliot Moore breaks the mark and Ford gets up again for the score and the bookends. Great Britain would go on to win 11-5, taking the pool. The next field over, Switzerland was in a battle with France for the top spot in Pool A. Switzerland's handlers quickly move the disc across the field, and Lorenz Stauffer breaks the mark to Basel Führer to give Switzerland a 10-8 lead. France answers right back, jamming it up the line to Nicolas Escobar, who continues to Kevin O for the France goal. On game point, Switzerland sticks it in quickly. Basel Führer puts out a hook to space, and David Moser runs it down for the 12-10 win. Another field over was another tight game, this one between Italy and Ukraine. Italy's Andrea Gavelli can't quite jump into the end zone, but gets back up and breaks the mark to a laying out Andrea Pagano to get Italy within 1, 11-10. Ukraine would hold their ensuing O point, as Not Melnik hits Anton Karini up line to give them a 12-10 win and first place in Pool C. As the first round of the championship bracket started, 3 games came down to universe point. In a low-scoring battle, France survived the 12-minute final point, eventually earning the break to beat Latvia 8-7. Italy looked to be in complete control of their game against Belgium, storming out to a 7-3 lead. The second half would be a different story, as Belgium came all the way back to win 10-9. Right next door, host Spain were locked in a close game with Denmark. Neither team led by more than a goal at any point in this game, and Spain pulled out the 9-8 victory. Sky's recaps tomorrow will bring you all the action from the quarters and semis. Check back then.